Hello, this is Claude, and today I'm going to show you. It's not a tutorial. I'm just going to talk about the new IMS, aftermarket tank for the KLX300. This is a 2024 version. When I bought this, I was looking between the CRF 300 or the KLX. I prefer the KLX for everything except the lack of aftermarket tank. And in April the 2025, the minute IMS says they had a tank, I just went out and just pre-ordered it, and I just got it basically early May 2025 and installed it. So I'm going to take my notes here because I'm just gonna ad-lib. It's not a tutorial, it's just my observation and comments on what I did to install the tank. So the IMS part number, the product for it is a 3.8 gallon tank. It's part number 13166. It's for the 2009 and 2020 KLX250S electronic fuel injection and the 2021-2025 KLX300. Like I said, that's a 2024. So basically, when I got the tank, it took me about 12 hours to install. I'm a noob. I'm not going to hide it. I'm a noob. And someone that knows what they're doing probably is going to take about 3 hours max to do the job. Me, every step was a where I needed to think and not break nothing. So, and get educated and understand what I was doing before actually doing it. So I took my time. 12 hours was taking a lot of time, a lot of precaution, reading and doing everything I can. So this is why it took so long, but I learned at the same time. So I'm just going to tell you what I've, as a noob, the tips and tricks that I've done, what I realized. So that's going to help other people that might be new at it, trying to do the same install. And I'm sorry, as I'm just starting to do the video, my neighbor decided to mow the lawn. So if you hear some noise in the background, it just happened as I was starting shooting here. So what I've done is I have the service manual. I will not show the service manual for copyright, but I will share some of the torque of some of the screws that are involved in the process. So I will share that. And also, this is a part of the hose that I cut, the bypass hose in the bottom of the pump that I cut. So I'm going to talk about it a little later. So I'm going to refer to some of the torque. So this is why I've got the manual here, just so you know that that's the KLX300 service manual for the 2024. So I'm going to refer. So if you know that I'm giving the torques for some of the screws, you know that it's based on real information that I have. It's not secondhand or third-hand or looking at shady websites. All right. So the first thing that we have to do when we do the tank is obviously we need to remove the plastics, remove the seat, and all of that. So I've done all of this. And then after that, you can remove the tank. So this is the original tank, by the way, just so you can, now it's dried up inside. So you'll be able to see basically the difference between that 2-gallon original tank to that 3.8 tank. And not only that, when the tank came on the market, initially it says 3.2 to 3.5 gallons, and it ended up being 4 gallon. 3.8 gallons. So which is better. And one of the things that I have to see immediately is I rode it a couple of trips already on it. Went to in the GTA Greater Toronto area in Canada and the Ganaraska Forest with it already. It feels light. It doesn't feel heavy. It doesn't feel top heavy like the KLR that I have as well. So it feels very nice. It's got a nut shape. It looks weird when looked on the side, but it rides very well. So it actually, you don't feel the bulk or anything. So this is why it's very comfortable in the riding position. So those that are worried about this, it's a non-issue for me. So anyway, so that's the difference in size between the two the two tanks. And of course, when you have the new tank, you have a non-locking cap. Of course, you lose the ability to have the locking cap there, but yeah, that's a thing that needs to happen. And all the bolts actually for the plastics, and then these are the 3 bolts that we need to remove when we remove the plastics. Bang bang. And then there's only that 1 bolt here in the bottom of the tank. And then you remove the 2 bolts on the side. So that's basically just 5 bolts. So this is the plastics that are already off, but it's just 1, 2 bolts on each side, and the bolt in the bottom that holds the tank in place. So that is one of the things. One of the things that I had, and one of the issues that I was worried when I removed the tank initially was there's the tubes. All right, so on my tank, hopefully it's going to do the focus here, but on my tank I only have 3 tubes here. There's the pump here, but there's 3 tubes here that go on some of the California models. Me, I've got a non-California, so I've got only 2 tubes behind, plus the pump here. These tubes, initially I was worried about removing them and having leak. Of course, when I removed the tank, I took a hand pump and I removed as much fuel as I could from the tank. But I was worried about this leaking. But this is just, if you look at from inside the tank, these are just for evaporation. So it's not, there's no fuel that's going to come out of that, flooding your floor, or just, dropping a lot. I'm a French Canadian, so this is why the words sometimes are weird. So this is why this, don't have to worry about this. This is not going to drip. This is basically these three, and then there's a third one on the California Model 4 that goes to the evaporation device there, which I don't have. So this is it. And in the bottom, this is the bypass valve that goes here, and this is the fuel pump that's here, and then there's a tube that goes here as well. So when I remove this, and this is one of the things, and I'm going to go into the torques before I go to the issues that I had. Some of the torques, the plastic covers as well. These the torque, when you put them back on, it's 61 inch-pound on the plastic covers. So all of those are 61 inch-pound. The fuel tank bolts, which are the bolts that are on the side of the tank. So basically, I'm not going to show that here, but they're about here. So there's just one on each side. And those, when you retorque them, are going to be 62 inch-pound. So 62 inch-pound. The fuel pump bolts, the bolts that are under the fuel pump, these bolts are going to be at 87 inch-pound. 87 inch-pound. And for me, because I've got the back of the seat here, and I've got the precision motorcycle, whatever it is, precision rack, and the side rack as well. So those, I guesstimate them, they're not in the manual, I guesstimate them to be at about 13 foot-pounds. So that's what I do, 13 foot-pound. This is what it is there. So this is, I'm going to put the photo, but this is basically the bottom of the tank. So if you want to see that, all right, so that's the original tank right there. Let me not drop this. Basically, when I removed was ready to remove the seat and everything, and I was about to remove the tank. I was concerned about the side tubes. No problem there. Nothing's going to drip from that. And then the tube that goes from the pump itself. This has a black square connector with green thing. You just remove from the bottom there. You snap the green part off, and then basically just pull this connector out in a straight line. There's a video. I'm going to see if I can find it, and link it. But you just pull it straight out. Don't wiggle it. Don't break nothing. The tube that's coming out of the pump. So just pull it straight out, and it's going to be there. The tube that is under, actually, on the pump, it's a black tube, and it's kind of flanged. So when you're going to put that plastic square connector back on, I had an issue there when I was putting it back, because I was trying to clip it back on, it wouldn't clip. That's because, if it happens to you, is because the tube is not completely, it needs to go over the flange part. It needs to connect into the flange part. Then after that, you can push the green plastic back in. So if it doesn't push, it's because it's not connected, it's not pushed all the way through in. So you need to push it all the way in with some certain force, straight, but with a certain force. Once it's connected properly, once you can push it back, it's because it's connected properly. So that is one of the issue where took me an hour to really get it, because I wasn't sure when it ended. I had to go look. So this is one of the issue that I had, the biggest issue that I had. One of the issues that I had as well is when I was putting the fuel pump back in, one of the bolts was not, they were all aligning very nice with the new tank, putting the pump into the new tank. So I observed the orientation of the pump when I removed from the original one. So I just put it straight back, and I had my bolts ready to go. So I kept the right orientation of the pump. So one of the bolts of the pump were not aligning. So it was aligning right, but I couldn't just torque it back properly. So I basically have some of those crow foot, I think it's what it's called, one of those crow foot um, connect, hold on here, I don't know, the crow foot thing there, so I can put my torque wrench on it on the 10 millimeter. So I was able to torque it properly with this. So that was connected properly. That's the only thing. On the original, I didn't have no issue to remove it, but to put it back, I did. So it was, I don't know if it was a little, not aligned properly, but I didn't have any issue in theory. After that, no leaks when I installed everything, so that was not a problem. All right, and also one of the issue that I had with this when I was doing that, so I put my bolts back on the pump, like I said, at 87 inch per pound. So I put everything back, and one of the issue that I had was the bypass valve, which is the brass valve that they put you, it goes in the bottom of the tank, of the new tank. I didn't know, it didn't say how to torque it and all that, so I thought, do I need to put Teflon on it or not? So I just inserted the brass insert, screwed it as much as I could, and after that, I screwed it, when it was tight enough, and I did a quarter turn more. So I as a homeowner, and I plumb everything with Teflon, and then the plumber's paste, or what it's called. So I'm used to paste everything and Teflon everything. So this one I wasn't sure if it's going to leak or not. So it went dry, put it in, torqued it as much as I could, and after I did a quarter turn, no leaks whatsoever. So that was good. So I had a concern with that. When I put the from the fuel pump to the bypass valve, there's the original tube. It was too long, so it kind of kinked. So basically what I had to do is that I cut about half an inch of the tube. Half an inch. So with an X-Acto knife, just cut a quarter, and then it just fit just nice and easy. That is one of the things that I had to do. Yeah, it's cheap to replace, so no issues there. So it works just fine. So yeah, and then the last thing, so when everything was back up and reconnected, the black connector, everything was was fine. The two tubes that are in the back that would go into the evaporator tubes from the tank, that go down here. So they're no longer going to be used because you only connect the black connector, and then the bypass itself, serving there is self-sufficient. So the other two cables that were in the original tank, you could actually remove these tubes. Me, I like to keep everything original, so if I want to sell the bike or whatever one day and I want to keep the tank, whatever, I like to be able to go back to the original state. So I just basically took tape, electrical tape, capped off the top, just put some tape on the side, and I just left them there. I just kept them and then lowered them a little bit, tie wrap them, get them out of the way. You could remove those, but I chose to leave them there just so I could go back to the original if anything happens, right? But actually you could remove these two if you wanted to, no problem. The last thing that I had an issue with at the end was when everything was back on, I closed everything back, and then I was going to put the seat back, and I realized that the seat wasn't, like, it's a little steep over here, right, with the new tank, and it couldn't go back in properly. The only thing that I realized is I was going to remove the plastic. I said, there must be a better way. So yeah, basically put the seat and just put some pressure on it, and then really scrunched it, and it just bent the way I needed to bend. So no need to remove nothing. I just put the pressure on, and it bent just nice and went in just perfect. So this is one of those that I thought I can take forever to do it. Remove the back plastic, just bent it and pushed it, and in 30 seconds it was done. So yeah, so once everything was done, actually, everything went in perfectly fine. And one thing that I did when I refilled the tank, I just put little dots. I don't know if you will be able to see those, but I just put, I'm in Canada, so I'm in liters. So I put 1 liter in, put 1 dot, put 2 liters in, put 2 dots, 3 liters, 3 dots, 4 liters, 4 dots. When I ride, I don't see, so I would have preferred to do it in this area, so I have a little window. For me, I know it's 25 kilometers to 30 kilometers per liter. So basically what these 4 dots about here, I know that I still have 100 kilometers to go. And we got a runner. If it's working, I can put the number of 1 liter, 2 liter, 3 liter. Not 4 now. Seems to work. That's what it looks like. Looks like a doofus, but it's still alright. It works. So basically, I went from the tank. that could give me probably 200 kilometers range now to 400-kilometer range. So this fuel anxiety is completely gone. So if I want to go to the Parc des Laurentides, northern Quebec, and all of that, I'll be good to go. I won't have to worry about the fuel and running out in the middle of nowhere. So I'm very happy with it. On the cab, it comes with I think like a longer, like a 24-inch tubing here. I just want an Amazon, but the cheap little thing there, and that's fine. One of the things that you will see is that because of the angle, it's steeper. I like my accessories, and I like to have my dust bag. And the dust bag fits here, but as you will be able to see, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but here it kind of gives a weird angle, so it's not flush. I still put it there, but it's kind of weird. But still, I've used it, and like I said, in the forest was just perfectly fine, no problem with that. It just looks a little wonky, but it's just fine. So overall, I've got the tank. I'm very happy with it. It rides well with it. It doesn't touch if I go left or right, nothing. And I even have a nice CNC dash here where I can put my Garmin GPS. And nothing touches on the tank on both sides, so there's not an issue whatsoever. It goes full left to the right, lugs there, and then nothing touches the tank. So I'm very pleased with it. If you've got the KLX and you're thinking of doing this, if you've changed tanks before, it might take you 3-4 hours. It took me 12 because every step of the way took me an hour to just look at it, think, and not break nothing. But overall, I'm very pleased with it. If you change the tank, if you're not very technical, if you're a 0 out of 10, don't do it because it's tough. It's not easy. But if you're minimally technically inclined, no problem whatsoever. Like I said, when I start to put the fuel in there, I just put a liter or two and then wanted to see if it was going to leak or not. Shook the bike left, right, and everything I could. Went to ride it a little bit. No leaks whatsoever. So I'm very pleased with it. With the brass thing in the back as well. I was concerned maybe it would leak or something, and my connector maybe it would leak. Nothing is leaking. So very happy with it. And then that's what it is. So I'm going to put the torques also in the description, so in case so it helps people. I'm not going to go beyond that. Don't send me notes about, can you tell me the torque of this one or that one? I'm not going to do this. Just for this job, you got the torques that you need, and you should be good to go with that. So all right, so there you go. So IMS products tank, 3.8 gallon tank, part number 13166. Love it. I'm very glad I did the change, and I'm going to enjoy my bike literally way more because I don't have that fuel anxiety there. So, all right. So I hope it helps someone. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.